First of all, I have nothing but praise for the Indian authorities, the Indian government, for chasing the terrorists 17 years, more than 17 years down the line, and for bringing them to justice. They deserve justice. The families deserve justice. It was a trauma for Israel, but above all, it was a trauma for India. Second of all, I think it sends a strong message to terrorists anywhere that we will never give up.
A very important development. How do you see the news of 2611 mastermind Tahawwur Rana being extradited to India? How do you think this is a big development for India? And also, if you can share the difficult moments you personally experienced since you were the Israeli ambassador to India when this attack took place and Jews were among those who were killed. So if you can share your experience of 2008 and how do you see this as a development?
Well, that's a long question, and I hope I can give an adequate answer. First of all, I have nothing but praise for the Indian authorities, the Indian government, for not giving up, for chasing the terrorists 17 years, more than 17 years down the line, and for bringing them to justice. I think that has two major components to this fight against terror. Number one is to bring justice to the almost 200 people or so that were massacred by the Lashkar-e-Tayyiba in 2008. They deserve justice. The families deserve justice. It was a trauma for Israel, but above all, it was a trauma for India and for the Indian people, the innocent people that were mowed down by terrorists in the train station, in the Taj Hotel, and all the other sites that were attacked by the terrorists. And second of all, I think it sends a strong message to terrorists anywhere that we will never give up, that India will never give up. You attack, you will be held responsible for the attack. And so it's a double-edged, I think, wonderful sword, and it's nothing but praise for that. You know, I remember clearly, as if it were yesterday, the attack in India in 2008 in September. It was trauma of the highest order. None of us really knew. We're embassy diplomatic staff. We really knew how to handle such a horrendous event, which just came out of the blue for us. And we worked very closely then with the Indian authorities in trying to save the lives of the people who were being hostages. Yes, in the Chabad, in the Jewish home. We didn't know. There was a lot of uncertainty. We didn't know how many people were there. We didn't know which were Israeli citizens, which were Jewish, which were not, which were Indian. And the cooperation then at the time is indelibly marked in my mind. And I remember every moment of it from beginning to end. It was a 4 or 5 day horror that we all went through. So, yes, I believe, Ayusha, at the time, that the terrorists thought that this would bring a wedge or push a wedge into Israeli-Indian relations. In other words, if we're attacking Jews and by attacking Israelis, it would drive a wedge between India and Israel. And actually what happened was the opposite, which showed and that we became closer. We have the joint approach to attacking terror wherever it rears its ugly head. And I think that today is in many ways a historic or a momentous occasion in the fact that people are being brought to trial and being extradited to India for the crimes that they committed even 17, 18 years ago.
Right. Ambassador, just one more question. How do you see India-Israel cooperation when it comes to tackling terrorism? You know, there is an ongoing war in Gaza. You are also fighting against Hamas. When October 7 happened, Prime Minister Modi was one of the first leaders who called it as a terrorist attack. So how do you see the Israel-India cooperation? And recently, Israel also officially designated Lashkar-e-Tayyiba as a terror organization. So one, how do you see India-Israel cooperation when it comes to combating terrorism? And second, you know, how important this development is for Israel as well?
Well, I can say that, of course, many, I'm not in government anymore. I have left government service, but I can say that India and Israel are two civilized countries, which then, and even today, are faced by the horror and the scourge of terror. And I think the civilized world in general, of which India and Israel are among the leaders, have to orchestrate and work in concerted action against terror wherever it rears its ugly head. You know, the Lashkar-e-Tayyiba, the LET, and Hamas are very much in common. Terrorism is terrorism, but to enter into a neighboring state and kill and murder and massacre as many people as possible just for the sake of killing and massacring and murdering is the worst of any type of bestiality. And it's wonderful that India and Israel and others can work together, are working together to wipe this scourge off the face of the earth. And I think we have to continue in this vein, and we have to make sure that terrorists, wherever they may be, in India, in the Middle East, elsewhere, they should know that there is no escape from the repercussions of carrying out terrorist activities. And we are showing that here. We are very strong on that. There's a great deal of difficulty inside of Israel. There's a great deal of lack of cohesion vis-a-vis the government right now. And I'm certainly not a fan of the current Israeli government. However, the fight against terror is consensual in Israel. It's consensual in India. And we are two great countries with great histories, democratic countries that want to work towards a better future. The people of India, the people of Israel. And I'm very glad indeed that we are able to cooperate. And one of the harbingers and one of the incidents or the issues of tragedies that pushed us more together was this very attack, this horrendous attack on Indian soil in Mumbai on the 26th of November in 2008. And so, yes, nothing but praise. Yes, we have to continue to work with the civilized world against terrorism. And yes, we shall all overcome in the end, basically for the simple reason we have no choice. We cannot give in to terrorism.